So yeah, vision boards. I'll just kind of explain to you when we did a vision board. This was actually our very first vision board here. And so where we were in life was essentially Christy, we hadn't even had our first daughter. I think Christy was pregnant. We were just starting to educate ourselves about real estate investing. The very first book we read said that don't do anything without identifying your personal beliefs. The way I do one thing is the way I do everything. So if I read, this is the very first real estate investing book I ever read, and it was almost the last. It literally gave me kind of a little bit of enough information to understand a little bit about everything that I could understand the lay of the land. And then it was enough for me to take action. But the very first thing it says is that you have to create your personal beliefs. And it kind of went through a process on how to do that, right? And it's not as good as what I'm going to do, just to let you know. So but this is exactly my goal for you guys today, because I want to lay this blueprint out for you, and then I want to also show you, that it works. I mean, this is proof. I don't know how it works. Well, I do actually know how it works. I mean, it's just the way, in life, I've got it written right here. Going through life without a vision board is like going through the grocery store blindfolded, right? You might end up with a cart full of things you don't need and forget all the essentials, right? Imagine your wife sends you to the grocery store and you just go blindfolded and you dump it all out on the counter and say, there you go, honey, good luck making dinner, right? Of course you would never do that. But again, going through life without a vision board is kind of the same as that. The other thing it's kind of like going on a road trip without putting Google Maps on, right? Hoping that you just turn out, maybe a destination, but you just go out and you turn right or left and hope you arrive at that destination. Again, you would never do that, but people often, do that to their life, right? And nonetheless, time goes by, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and all of a sudden they're shocked that they've got this life that, that wasn't fulfilling, that wasn't what they hoped, that it wasn't what they dreamed of. And that happens, most commonly, right? But it doesn't have to be the option, right? If we have a very clear vision as to where we want our life to go in the next 5 years, then we take massive action, we stay extremely intentional, then there's a very high chance, and I can show you by the proof of the 3 vision board iterations that we have, that you will actually accomplish those things. And so the vision boards are extremely powerful tool that you can literally manifest your dreams and aspirations. They provide a tangible representation of your ideal future, like a roadmap guiding you towards the life you truly desire, the 0 to 100 life. And so when creating a vision board that reflects your life in 5 years, imagine the world without financial limitations. And I get that question a lot, is like, what should I put on the vision board? Is it stuff that I already have? Is this like a 1-year goal that's already in my horizons or that I'm currently working on? The answer is no. These should be things that aren't on your horizon right now, that are 5 years out, right? That are going to take some work, that are not easily achievable, right? This is an ideal 0 to 100 life vision, right? And so when we created this was our very first vision board back in 2015, we created it, and we had 0 real estate properties. Since then, we've done hundreds of them, right? Well over hundreds of millions of dollars in deals. And so one of our goals, just to give you perspective, we had 0 real estate. We've done 0 deals. We didn't have a company at this point. And our big 5-year vision was to get 12 properties, because at that point, our vision of our ideal life knew that 12 properties, the cash flow from those, and the equity and the mortgage pay down would change our life drastically. Right. And we got after that. Thankfully, because we take action, we were able to accomplish those 12 properties within a year and a month, right? Not 5 years. But again, without that clear vision, you were never going to get there. And so some of the other things that we put on here were work hard, play hard, because that was who I was. Like, I love to have fun. We love to party. We love to hang out with our friends and whatnot. We wanted to save money for our kids' education. Right? We wanted this pool in the backyard. We wanted to do a safari. We wanted to eat healthy. We wanted this 53-foot boat or bigger boat. We wanted a beach house. I wanted to speak from stages. I wanted to golf more. I wanted to, work hard, dream big. I wanted to travel more. This is actually a picture of a marathon route through a bunch of cities. I'd never even ran a half marathon at that point. Right? I just thought, wow, that would be a really cool adventure to do. This is so crazy though. Think about this, because if you know who I am and what I do today, Like, this is just, it's so weird that this was planted. I wasn't even a runner at that point. I didn't even want to run. I didn't even like to run. I'd never even ran a half marathon. I just thought the people that could do that kind of stuff were absolutely insane, right? And so, don't tell me your dreams, show them, right? These are always, I like to put some sayings in there. A goal without a plan is just a wish, right? Ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. Retirement. I mean, I had a corporate job. I would never even say the word retirement today, right? And so only because I don't need to, right? I love what I do. I'm never gonna, retire. So anyway, so this was our very first iteration, guys. And so the second iteration, I'm going to show you down here after we kind of go through a little bit more about vision boards. But before the second iteration, we had a 53-foot boat. I was speaking on stages. I ran a half marathon. I haven't ran the full marathon. We were traveling lots more. By then, I had a personal trainer and we were eating healthier. We were getting closer. By then, we had, probably like 40, 50 properties. So we didn't have to save for retirement. We didn't have to save for our kids' piggy banks, right? We had the dream backyard. All of this stuff happened, right? And then it was time in 2020 to make another one. But before we go into the next one, I'm going to break down the actual step-by-steps that you guys can follow. And by the way, the number one thing is identify the key areas of your life. So there's all key aspects of your life. So there's health and wellness, there's careers, and there's finance, there's relationships, there's children, there's personal growth, there's philanthropy, there's spirituality, there's all of these different aspects of life. And I think the first thing that you need to do is identify what those major things are in your life, right? And that's the first thing. So, you can identify those. The next one is answer very key questions around each of those areas. And you want to get really specific. I've actually got an entire list of questions in this blueprint for you, right? And so you can just use that list, or, if I don't have a key area or a key question that's going to get you to the answers that you're looking for and clarity on what your ideal life looks like, what you want to do is just go into like ChatGPT or, Bard AI or something like that, and ask them to give you a list of questions that will help drive the clarity out of your head. So you want to get specific. For example, what exactly does financial freedom look like to you? What income level do I want to achieve? What kind of investments will I be making? Dig deep. What kind of partner do I truly desire? What qualities are essential in my friendships? How can I contribute to a community? Right? You start to answer these things very clearly, comprehensively, with your wife, with your husband, by yourself, with your kids. This could be a very, for me, Christy and I do this sort of individually, and then we come together with our visual representations of what our ideal life looks like. And then from there, which is stage 3, and from there, we actually combine them into the vision board. That's just how we've chosen to do it, right? So once you've answered all of these key questions, then you collect those visual representations. For me, this took me about 2 months the last time, or for Christy and I. This is not perfectly clear all the time because it really needs to matter. So there's 2 different methods that we know of. Really, it's like you can go and cut images right out of the magazine and that resonate with your goals, which is kind of fun. Some people are like that. They're creative like that. They prefer to touch it. Personally, what I like to do is save the images that I find on the internet and do it in Canva. Okay, so Canva, you can drag and drop them into Canva. You can Canva has templates of posters, and then you just shape the vision board, something like this. After you collect all the pictures, and you can experiment with layouts, fonts, effects, etc. I personally, don't just rely on pictures. I rely a lot on words because life philosophies, in my opinion, are very strong. Mottos mental mantras are very powerful. These are the things that you tell yourself, right? These are the life strategy that you live by. In some way, shape, or form, we all need to have these. These are like your core values. So if you don't already have core values on certain things, like a few of mine are surrounded only by winners. More recently, it's if it doesn't serve me, I'm not doing it. or, family, fitness, relationships, and business. Those are the four things. If it doesn't add value to those things, I'm not doing it. How I finish matters is another big thing that I tell myself all the time right now. Right. But these are, when things get hard in life, when you're trying to make a big decision, whether, or it might even be the decision to go out for, coffee with somebody, when, maybe it's a distraction, just as an example, and you could be, serving your business and doing something that's going to add value to your life versus being distracted. Well, that having some of these guiding principles, mental mantras is really important to keep you staying focused on the task at hand, which is creating your ideal vision, turning your vision into reality. Okay. So the next thing is you want to place your vision board strategically. To be honest, I've got mine right behind me. You can see it's right there, right? But this is the very first time I've ever had it on the wall. That's not the important part. The important part is that you take the time to do it properly. And because these things matter, because you've gone through the exercise of writing down all the things that really matter to you, all the areas of life, then answering all these detailed questions, and then taking the time to really identify what your answers to those questions are, but represented in a picture. By going through this process, you're going to create a very clear vision. You don't need to see this because it's already ingrained in here. This is the hokey pokey part that I don't really understand. There's probably science behind it. But I'm just telling you guys that it works, and it's worked time and time again for us. So you can put it on a wall. You can leave it digital, just leave it on your computer, right? But the process is, once you do it, you're probably going to be good. What I love to do though is I love to share it. So the next thing is share your vision and inspire people. What I'm giving you guys truly is a gift. I honestly and truly believe that what I'm doing right now for you, if you do this, is a gift. And because this will serve you, and if you share it to other people, it's only going to serve that. Because without a clear vision of where you want your life to go, you will not get there. And if you have the clear vision, you're going to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. You're probably going to make more money. You're going to help more people. You're going to serve yourself. You're going to serve your body. You're going to be able to serve others. And truly, you're going to actually change the world one little bit at a time. That's actually truth. Because if you take action, right? But I think by sharing this, create this vision board, share it on social media, tag me, tag 0 to 100 Life. You're going to inspire other people to do the exact same thing. We can send them this blueprint. We can send them this exact same recording so they can do the exact same things that you're going to do and have the same results that you're going to have, which these are, I don't know how, but these are life transformative. I've got countless stories of my friends actually having clips. One of my friends had a clip of this insane cottage. It was a vision board, like insane cottage. Like I'm talking like this thing's like $8 million. And sure enough, that property came on market at one point and he ended up buying that. He didn't even know that cottage was in Canada. And sure enough, it popped up. He looked at his vision board. He's like, and they ended up buying it. Like, how is that even possible? Right? So we share it. Again, what sharing also does, guys, is hold you accountable. I love using social media, or just send it to your friends, show it to your coworkers and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm going after. This is what vision boards have done for my friends. I'm going to give it a shot. And I think you should too. Right. And you want to do it. If you're a leader, you own a company, there's nothing more, inspiring and showing leadership than doing this activity with your team. Justin's on the call right now. He works for Barefoot. And we did this last year at this time. And Justin, I believe, had his house on there, and he now owns a house. He did not, I don't even think a house was even really in the foreseeable future when he did the vision board, right? Who knows? There's probably babies and all kinds of other things next, but it works, right? So then the most important part, once you do all this, is you take relentless and constant action. And so a lot of people, in my opinion, get a little delusional and think that our bodies need rest on the weekends. And our bodies actually have way more energy than what our mindsets and our bandwidth have. right? And so we just can't be what I'm 1000% a huge believer in is taking commitment to a 7-day action towards your goals. And I'm not saying you got to work on the weekends. What I'm saying is like, hey, you got priorities. Maybe for me, they're family, fitness, relationships, and business. I'm going to work a little bit on all of those, maybe more so family and fitness on the weekends, right? But I'm going to still like bang out a 30 minutes little session on work. I'm gonna send a few messages that are gonna nurture some relationships that really matter to me, right? Because that's consistency, that's habits, that is stacking wins. 1% better every single day is 365%. That's 3x better. That's how you compound the effect and change your life in a matter of 3 to 5 years. And so 7 days commitment towards your goals, right? Raise your standards, challenging yourself to exceed your own expectations and inspiring others to do that as well. When you raise your standards, you automatically raise expectations for yourself, and you're going to automatically do that for the people around you, right? And you may lose some friends, but you're going to gain some real savage ones when you do that. I guarantee you that, guys. And consistency is the key. Daily actions, tiny steps. This isn't like a miracle. And you don't have to look at your vision board and be like, hey, I'm going after that one this year. You don't necessarily need to do that because you already know it will come, right? But you always just need to be working on the next important thing, whether that's in your business, in your relationships, with your time with your kids, working on saving a bit more money, making a smarter investment. We all know what the next thing is that we can do. We just need to make sure that those next things are small enough that we can accomplish them. Because when you do that, that's where you truly get momentum. And by accomplishing small things consistently is where you start to create a belief system. And because you start to build trust in yourself, because you show up for yourself and do the thing consistently over time, you start to believe and realize when you get that amount of momentum that you can actually accomplish anything you want in life. In a very short period of time, your vision boards will become reality. You'll be doing a new one. The new future vision board is something that you could have never imagined 3 to 5 years prior, right? That's the very cool thing about this. So the next thing is, like, this was our second iteration of our vision board. So you can see that, the very first one, it was work hard, play hard, right? And, some saving for education, retirement, that type of thing. Like I had a big boat, I got the boat. The next one is cash flow, helping others. We were in the Florida Keys and we saw these people run 100 miles. Again, at this point, I'd ran a half marathon and this was 100-mile Keys. I'm like, these are insane. This is in 2020, guys. I didn't start running until 18 months ago, right? Surrounded only by winners. In 2020, we had the vision we wanted to come to the United States. Had no clue how we would do that. It took years, flying private, which we've done a couple times, climbing mountains, which we do. Apparently I do that all the time now. Family time. We only had one daughter, right? Bahamas, BVIs, drive Tortugas, center console. We've got a center console in our backyard. Annual masterminds. I mean, I'm part of a mastermind. We meet 6 days, 6 times a year. Work-life balance, fitness, clarity. Eating, island property. We just built on an island last year. And it looks all granite, just like that. This isn't magic. This is just what happens when you take constant action after having a very clear vision of your life. Okay? And so, that being said, here's the list of questions that you guys, we're going to send this. These should be either in your cell phone or if it's not, we will get it to you very shortly. But from a personal growth perspective, what are the skills or knowledge you would like to acquire? When I show you the next vision board, you can see Christy wants to learn Spanish. And that's kind of one of the things that we're talking about. What personal qualities do you want to develop or strengthen? What kind of personal growth seminars, workshops, or experiences do you want to envision? Right? Is that masterminds? Is that, whatever it is? Spirituality. How do you envision deepening your spiritual connections? Love and partners, family and friends. I've got a whole length of all these questions in different areas of life that you guys can strategically go through, right? And answer to create that vision. And if Mary, I know you've got your beautiful little daughter there, and some of you other guys are going to be sharing this with your kids. And I think what I would suggest doing is giving them, make a shorter version. I would probably give them maybe like 5 to 6 questions and use ChatGPT or use Google and make sure that those questions are related to them and to something that they understand. Right. And so and then just repurpose what I've done for you guys as adults, because you guys can all very clearly answer these questions. If I had kids, I would be making these questions very specific to them and brainstorming it with them. And then I would personally be going onto the internet and I would be, spend a few hours and try to find the pictures that really represent what that looks like. And it's interesting. It's interesting as parents, we've asked our kids, if there's anything that you could have, actually, we did this around, and it was around this. If, in the next year, if there's anything that you could have, anything in the world, what would it be? And, if you ask that question and you let them actually think, this broke my heart. And you know what their answer was? It was just, all I want to do is spend time and play with you. Right? And so think about that. That's what matters to your children at times. So ask them, what matters to you? What do you want to be true this year? If there was anything you could have more of, and I would be shocked if you don't get that part as part of your answer. And so when you think about aligning your vision with your children's, with the other family members, maybe put on your vision board, because that's hard. As us as parents, we've got devices, we operate businesses, we've got all kinds of distraction. And one of the hardest things as a parent is to give the kids the actual thing that they want, which is just time to play with mom and dad. And so I think I think this is a great exercise for families. And I think you just ask them. They're going to tell you what they want, right? And it's probably, we have no clue. It's going to be probably just time, which is very cool. And before I break 2 questions, so this is our last iteration of our vision board. And so, again, everything's around 0 to 100. And the reason why, just so you guys understand, like 0 to 100 is a way of life. It's the way, the way we do everything is the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. And so for me, I know for a fact, the faster you move, the more decisive you can be, the clearer your vision, the more you take action towards your goals and your priorities. When you go 0 to 100, you will accomplish more than anybody else, right? Speed is a thing. And it's not just speed. It's also the commitment, the level of commitment and to your goals and to actually getting after it. And so for me, our core values are the reasons why I'm going to do anything are for fitness, family, relationships, and business. Again, I've said it to you. It's in everything I say, right? It's consistency. And I'm going to do that with intention. Again, surrounded by only winners, because I have 0 tolerance for laziness, 0 tolerance for excuses, 0 tolerance for losers, right? Mediocrity is the enemy. Like one of my good mentors, Kent, says all the time. One of our goals in the next few years is to personally donate over $1 million. I've raised $100,000 for charity every single year, though, right? So giving back and helping others is like a core, but I personally want to be able to donate $1 million. Bigger boat, mastermind on this island. It has significance. Christy wants to do a triathlon. We do want to eventually actually own a jet. Focus and surf. My daughter loves to surf, so we're spending a lot of time, at least a couple times a year going forward, surfing and spending time in the water and watching the sunrise and just having those moments and times together. Doing hard things, obviously, is clearly, if you don't know me, this is one of the core things that make us a better human. There's nothing more important than forcing you to do hard things by using your body. And so, we do that. My children watch us do that, and they do that. Because kids do what they see, right? So if they see bad behavior, they see, you watching, maybe that this isn't necessarily bad, but sitting on the couch watching sports all day, being hungover, not exercising, eating crappy food. Well, they're going to know that they're just going to believe that is what success looks like, and they're going to follow. On the other hand, I was actually asked this on a podcast the other day, what do your kids think about you doing all these crazy things? I'm like, they think it's normal. Because that's what normal is to them. So they are going to do the exact same thing because that's what we do, right? It's like they just think that everybody does that. And so when you can normalize hard, there's nothing more, you can almost guarantee that your kids are going to be very successful, right? Again, Christy wants to learn Spanish. Kylie and Lexi are obviously our focus. We still haven't done that trip to Africa. I want to write a book. I want to just be surrounded by other strong, fit people. So funny enough, actually, I started doing, it's not yoga, but one of those other types of classes last Thursday was my first time. So I guess that's what this is from. I don't know. Heli skiing. I'm going to get my private pilot's license eventually, with like a chef to be cooking inside the house. And I want to be speaking from big stages. That's what this is about. And I wanted to have a sauna where I could see the sunset. And actually, we turned that into reality already. I go in it every single day, and there's sunsets right there. Again, guys, and I want a personal videographer, so that way that we're just shooting content nonstop and just living life. But again, we were able to accomplish the things on these vision boards time and time again. This is coming up to 10 years. Okay. And I honestly believe if you just give yourself the 2 weeks over Christmas to get this done, and do it, it could be a really fun family thing to do over the Christmas season. And maybe I'll pause there and answer any questions that you guys have.
So you having yours for 5 years out. I was honestly only thinking 1 year out, but I really like the idea of 5 years out. But for my kid, do you still think it's reasonable to just have her look at 1 year out? Like just dreaming about what 2025 could be versus, to 2030?
Yeah. Yeah, I would think probably realistically, because they don't really have perspective on, time like that. They're going to be different humans completely in 5 years. I would think 1 to 2 years might make sense. And again, to be honest, Mary, I don't know the exact answer to this. I think if I was in your shoes, I would probably think, in the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. Kind of what I would do with my daughter's 10 now. She has, she has line of sight to 10 to 2 years out from her swimming perspective and that type of thing. I think 2 years would probably be something I'd consider.
Okay. Yeah. And one of the things the lady said that I thought you would find encouraging as well is, if somebody else had said it, I don't have my notebook with me, but the quote is, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So true. Love that. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. What else you guys got? It's a good question.
I would say I think it's extremely important to not park this somewhere, to make sure that Brady has it on the wall. That just gives you the energy of knowing what you're doing every day and making sure you're spending your time towards your vision. Mary, I was new to vision boards, so my last year one was kind of what I wanted to do in the year, professionally and personally, and also a little bit long term, so it was mixed and matched. I was never a big reader, and we started reading on the company, and I was I want to do 6 books last year, very minimal, because I really don't read. And now I'm okay, I did that. Let's bump it up this year. Just even getting everyone's I want to eat healthy, hopefully that adds on to it and you start to build a foundation. But yeah, I think looking at it every day is very beneficial.
Awesome. Thanks, Justin. Any other questions or comments?
Brady, any strategies for bringing this to your team from a business perspective?
Yeah. So we did it, and I essentially did the exact same thing. And so I believe, Justin, correct me if we're wrong, I believe in January, everybody came back a month later with their vision boards, and we went around in circle, in everybody, there was about 7 of us, and everybody explained, what their vision looks like. And that was pretty cool, because you start to understand what matters to people. And I think the motivation, behind why people do what they do and what they want, it really matters, especially from a leadership perspective. But, to get buy-in and certain things is really powerful. At the end of the day, the approach that I've taken is that, more often when we have our all hands meetings every month, and I've got obviously our whole company, there's 18, 19, 20 of us on there, and most of the time I'm talking about there, it's not about business, because we're always working on business, the other 29 days, right? But what the things that they don't get in their life from a leadership perspective is how to eat healthy, how to look after your body, how to look after your mindset, how to create a vision. Those are the things that actually matter, they matter as much as actually doing the work. Because if we can create a bigger vision for themselves, if we can create a healthier body, a stronger mindset, then they're going to make more money for the business. They're going to perform better. They're going to be happier. They're going to stay. Right. So, and I tell them this is why I'm doing this. Right. I wanted to be very clear. Like, I do this because it matters to me that you guys are healthy, you guys are strong, that you guys are always getting better. And, and so that's kind of the perspective that I've taken, or the position.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Good question. Okay. So is anybody taking the action to create the vision board or update the vision board, over the next little holiday here?
Yeah, I just pulled up a new Canva. Definitely this is a good time to think about it. Like, Hart, we did this in January, and it's a good time to start the year. And then also, like, with the company, we found like commonalities, right? Like, everyone wanted to do this, everyone wanted to do that. And like, we all can also, financially, working together, there's a lot of things that we could hit the bucket with. So it definitely brings people together too.
Feel free to send it to everybody that you give a crap about, right? And you could present it on, to them in whatever shape or form, or say, hey, listen, I'm doing this. I'll show you mine when I get done in 3 weeks. Feel free to send them the recording. Feel free to invite them to the 0 to 100 day challenge. They don't actually have to start the challenge if they want to show up and just do this, right? And just be part of a good community. We will eventually talk them into doing the challenge one way, shape, or form, right? There's no, like, you don't have to be, in the challenge to be in this group. We just want to all get a little bit better every day, and that's the goal here. So, appreciate everyone showing up, and let's share this around over the Christmas. This is if this is the only gift you give anybody, during Christmas, I guarantee you it will, be more valuable than anything you could possibly buy them. All right, guys. All right. Thanks for showing up, guys. Appreciate you.